My biggest story of opening weekend, the Fever have the stuff, CJ. I am going to sit here. There is no time like one game into the season to make bold, sweeping, hot take predictions. But it would not surprise me one bit if the Indiana Fever find themselves in the WNBA Finals this year. I'm saying it. I want it marked down on May 19th, and I know it's crazy, but they looked so good. And a massive part of it is, I don't know if you know this, Caitlin Clark's really good at basketball. She continues to be pretty tremendous on the basketball court. Triple-double in the opening game for Caitlin Clark and the Fever. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. She also had 4 blocks and 2 steals. But it is not just Caitlin Clark. It is Aaliyah Boston, who had a double-double. Bit of a rocky first quarter, getting some of those early game jitters out. But I thought after that, the improvement that she has shown from last year to this year, the growth that she has already displayed, and you're like, oh God, like a Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston 2-woman game could be an absolute nightmare. Then you see Kelsey Mitchell has 15 points. Natasha Howard has 15 points. DeWanna Bonner moved into 3rd place in the WNBA all-time career scoring list. Lexi Hole had 9 points and 9 rebounds. Sophie Cunningham wasn't even able to play because she's dealing with an ankle injury. For a team that only brought back 5 players from last year's team, they looked incredibly comfortable playing with one another. And that was what I mean by having a growing confidence in this Fever team, which already existed in a pretty healthy place going into the year. But you generally start to think like, oh, it might take a couple weeks of growing pains. They might have to grow into what they're going to be this season. And there's room for growth, and there's room to figure out what that rotation is exactly going to look like once they reach the WNBA postseason. But from a first game opportunity, they looked really good.
Yeah, and listen, man, you add to that core group, Mitchell, Clark, and Boston, you add to them somebody who, in the MVP conversation, in the past 3 years, right? Like, DeWanna Bonner is a baller.
She's an all-timer.
That's a walking bucket. That, when we look back on it, we'll be talking about her in the Hall of Fame. Yep. And, all right, where does she rank in the Pantheon or Parthenon, wherever we do the sports rankings at? Where does she rank all time in women's basketball history? And you're adding that. So yes, while there are only 5 returning players, you're out there adding pieces that are better than the pieces you had on the team last year. And that was a team last year that surprised a lot of folks, surprised the hell out of me, with how well they were on the backs of those 3, Mitchell, Clark, and Boston. And so you're adding her. Yeah, I would like to disagree with you, but this is one of those instances where I don't think that I can. Now, it's one game. Right. My only argument is, how good are the Sky? So how good are they? We're
going to find out more about the Fever next Saturday. They play the Liberty.
Yes.
Next Saturday.
Now, here we go.
Because I don't want to say it. They play the Dream twice this week, and I caught a little bit of the Dream Mystics game. The Dream stink.
Do they?
The Dream are bad. Defensively, they made the Mystics rookies. Oh God, I wrote down her name. The girl from Notre Dame who ended obviously
not Hidalgo,
European,
not
ended
Miles.
up with them. So from USC, I have interest in the Mystics to some degree. Oh my God, I'm blanking on it. Anyway, she was tremendous. Like she looked old. She looked like a veteran. Both of them. They were having fun. They were laughing. And I was like, oh, the Atlanta Dream are not good. And the Fever have 2 games against the Dream coming up this week. One of them is Tuesday on NBA TV.
Citron?
Yeah. Citron. Okay. She's good. I enjoy watching her play. Anyway, you'll get a better idea of what this Fever team really looks like at this point in the season when they play against the Liberty, because I don't know what the Chicago Sky are, but it's not like they just beat the Chicago Sky. They walloped the Chicago Sky, which is, if the Sky are bad, that's what you're supposed to do against teams like that, to win 93-58. And they missed a lot of bunnies, especially early in the game too. But what really stood out to me was the relaxed state that Caitlin Clark seems to be able to play in right now, because the entire weight of the world does not fall on her shoulders. Like, that's what the roster reconstruction around Caitlin Clark was for this season, was getting players who could make shots, who could catch her passes, having players who are ready to play at the level that Caitlin Clark can kind of bring everybody up to from a team perspective. And I thought that was clear. The difference between Caitlin Clark's rookie debut and her sophomore debut speaks to the areas that she showed improvement throughout the Fever season, especially coming out of the All-Star break last year and the Olympic break, and she was like a different player. But last year, her rookie debut, she had the same amount of points as she had on Saturday. But those 20 points were on 5 of 15 shooting, 4 of 11 from 3, and she had 10 turnovers. And this year, 20 points on 6 of 13 shooting, 4 of 8 from 3, and only 3 turnovers. And those turnovers came pretty early, and she cleaned it up well down the stretch. And granted, like, they were rolling at that point, but they also looked so improved defensively. And that's what I'm curious on. Is it a matchup? Do the Sky not really have much of anything? Like, they couldn't make anything against the Fever. Was it the Fever's defense, or is it the ineptitude of the Sky?
I think it's a little bit of both, and we'll find out more. Like you said, in that game against the Liberty and the Fever there are a couple of teams that are must see for me in the W this year. The Liberty and the Fever are 2 of them. I'll throw Aces in there as well, and the Lynx, right? Like, those will be the 4 teams where if they're on, I will stop what I'm doing and watch them go out there and play, because it's just good basketball. Now, defensively, Bonner is a long, athletic player who is a wing, I think, by nature, right? So you got that type of length out there in passing lanes. Caitlin Clark can harass the ball. So can Mitchell as well. So you got them on the ball being pests as well. And then Aaliyah Boston, her IQ and knowledge of the game is so high.
Yes.
You got her in the back line floating around there in that sort of free safety role, right? Like, they are set up to be good on defense as well as good on offense, because you got Caitlin Clark, who you just got to be into. You have to, and you get so close, she can go by you.
Right.
Leah Boston sets really good screens. She's a good roll to the rim player. She's also a good pick and pop player as well. And then Mitchell, we saw her make a whole bunch of threes last year, just wide open, just spot up, knock those down. And then with the addition of Bonner, if all of that fails, just say, here you go, please go get a bucket. And you can't go double her, because you're doubling her, you're leaving Mitchell or you're leaving Clark open, and both of them will punish you. And if you're trying to double from an Aaliyah Boston, well, we saw her do this last year with Caitlin Clark doubles, where she gets to the center of the court, makes herself big, gets the ball, turns, faces up, and makes the right pass, and you end up with an open shot on the back end. I really don't know who or what stops this team from getting to a WNBA Finals. I look forward to watching it play out. I look forward to seeing if anybody
Weird
does.
Stuff happens in sports every year.
I'm not sure how or what you can do to stop that. You have to have somebody who can guard Caitlin Clark one-on-one, and we don't make a lot of those. We just don't. I think Chelsea Gray might be able to, and that's it. Those maybe Sabrina can go out there full up, maybe.
And that Liberty roster is so stacked.
Natasha
we'll talk
Cloud,
about the Liberty when we get there.
Right? Like,
I'm not Fever Sky things to
I'm
discuss.
not sure what you can do as an individual defender on Caitlin Clark right now. She's just that good. What else is there to discuss? It was a great basketball game.
All right. So in the third quarter of the basketball game, we got our first moment of the season. Because you knew there was going to be one. Like, going into it, like, oh, what's gonna pop off between the Fever and the Sky? I hear they hate each other. I hear Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese hate each other. And we get the moment in the third quarter where Caitlin Clark ends up being called for a flagrant foul on Angel Reese. This is the play that it happens on. If we can roll it, here's the after. Okay, there. No, that's the after effect of them getting into it. But Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese down to the ground. Angel gets back up, kind of goes towards Caitlin Clark in her actions afterwards. She was heated about it. I will say, if you go back and watch this play from the beginning, the reason Angel Reese gets this rebound is because she pushed Natasha Howard to get out of the way. And you watch Caitlin Clark react to Angel Reese pushing Natasha Howard. Caitlin Clark is like doing the, where's the call on that? And then Caitlin ends up going and pushing Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark was asked about it after the game.
She was asked about it in the fourth quarter.
She was also asked about it I hate those. She was also asked
Why
about it
do
in
you
the
hate
fourth
them?
quarter.
That's great.
I hate in-game interviews.
Why?
I think they're a waste of time.
All right, Greg Popovich.
I completely think they're a waste of time. But then after the game, too, like the press conference moment was funny because Aaliyah Boston actually ended up getting a technical foul during all of this, as she's kind of like the get-back girl between Angel and Caitlin Clark. And Aaliyah Boston was like, me? And Caitlin Clark kind of pushes it down in the moment. She goes, let's not make this into anything that it's not. It was just a play on the basketball. It was a take foul, put her at the line instead of giving her 2 points. Moving right along.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.